eventually you were going to become a fiddler. You just
Well, I don't know. It was there. We were hearing it, you know, and we got interested in it. We were humming it and singing. We'd go to bed. We'd be singing music.
Yeah, that's
rolling.
uh,
Oh my God!
Remember Leo's story about hearing Dan Rory, McMullen? They were a very musical family, lived next to us, and Dan Rory, who was one of the ones that, you know, this is not Dan R, this is Dan Rory McMullen. He and helped get the piano into that house, and he played a chord. Well, we never heard anything so beautiful in our lives. Particularly, that's Leo's memory of that chord that he heard on this big, huge piano.
Or did you have a teacher?
No. No, we just picked it up. I and Leo really, Papa took an old fiddle home from the extra game where we worked, and we both got pregnant and got this thing going and started knocking a little tune on it, a simple tune, and we got acquainted with it and how it was tuned, and in no time we were able to tune it by ear, you know, whatever it was. We picked that up soon.
And we would be in school and we heard this, you know, up and down business, and we had only just gotten the piano at that time. And I remember I was so proud to be able to do that with my hands up and down. And as the years went by, you go through a period, I think anyway, of playing making as much racket as you can at the piano, you know. And then you learn to listen to how the tunes are formed, and they're classical. You know, there's classic music, and the slow airs particularly bring that to your heart, and you learn how to not make so much racket when you're accompanying, and because it's a chance to hear how the music was put together. The creation of the music is fascinating me now. It's huge altogether, the beauty of it. And it doesn't matter what music we're talking about, like Les Mis, you look at the beautiful music that's in that. It's just gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, Iona was the closest high school, and we could go by train, 8 o'clock in the morning, and get home at 4:30.
And were you like us? We were always waiting for the bridge to get stuck, you know, now and then it would
across the bridge, yeah.
We'd be hoping they couldn't close the bridge.
And I'd be copying Maggie McKinnon's homework.
That's what would be going on.
You would do that.
Oh!
They were busy copying Francis's physics questions and answers, rather, I think. For myself, I remember having to play at dances when I was like 16 and 17, when I would have much preferred to be dancing than playing the piano all night. But you're just a teenager, is not too interested in that kind of thing particularly. But we must have been touched, you know, with the beauty of whatever the music was doing something for us to keep us lifted in spirit, because.
Is Janet your number one choice for a piano accompaniment?
No. Pray for me.
I'm sitting up now.
And I played it all along, even in the seminary. I had the fiddle in the seminary.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you have it at St. X?
We certainly did. Walked in there with the fiddle, and Father Tobin said, "If I catch you playing that after 7:30, I'll wrap it around your neck." So he laid down the terms right away. That was fine. That was good to hear.
That's pretty early.
Yes, that's right.
7:30. You get down and get your homework done.
That was staying in the dorm, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hearing the music. I remember when I was teaching in Edmonton years ago, and going out one Saturday morning, and wasn't there a piper on the street corner? Well, that nearly broke my heart. I was just longing to hear that music again, and it was I don't know what the occasion was, and I haven't thought about that since for many years. But I was very lonesome. So, and it was pipe music. It wasn't fiddle music. So it was good. when our family came and our father got active in the community and in the parish, they were very in debt in the parish here, and there was always such a struggle to even meet the interest on the loans. So he was with a group of people that got Scottish concerts going, and it was a big, big thing. And they had, like, Angus Allen and Angus Chisholm came here.
And Dan Jay.
And Sandy McLean.
Sandy McLean.
And Dan Huey, of course, later on, and Dan R. All these people came to the into the area to entertain at concerts, and the people in the community loved the music, and that would be in the like early 40s. That would have been so. This fellow was in his glory, if he was allowed to go. And Fitzgerald was most generous. He's just and kind. I remember him always making Francis play. All of them did.
Yeah.
I particularly remember.
They feel like you have to play now.
Yes,
And he'd sit down and listen to you.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah.
He would insist on that.
And how old were you at that
Oh,
point?
we're just in our mid-teens or
Yeah, you
when
weren't
we
any more
just
than
starting
that.
off.
See, we were young then. We're not young, but he was. Oh, he was a very. He loved just to. Because the musicians need to have a chance to play for people and to make people happy. It's not to show off. It's just to. They need somebody just to be happy that they're playing
Yeah.
beautiful music. I think that's what it is more than anything else.
It was a listening session for sure, and Papa would see to that. So there were no other distractions. And he loved it himself.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he just.
I don't know how available Gaelic singing was, back in that, but our father had a real lively way of singing, you see, and it just, I remember how it pleased Fitzgerald just to sit there and.
Oh, and Billy McLeod.
Billy the Hook. I
Oh,
don't
they insisted on Gaelic singing too.
Yes. And when Aunt Janet and Margaret would be home in the summertime, they were speaking Gaelic, between one another and singing Gaelic songs.
Of course, it depend on the individual, but the singing and the fiddling kind of went together. They supported one another, and people liked both of them, I think. Yeah. I don't know if you want to get into it, but besides all that, there was Gaelic singing mixed with that. One supported the other.
That's right.
Little Jock Watch out, could you?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, certainly not.
But that's true.
That's important that it wasn't ever just fiddle and just
No.
piano or just Gaelic singing. There
Yeah.
was
No.
a very and you're speaking to growing up or in your lives in general.
Well, certainly it was definitely growing
Oh,
up.
piano leader,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't want to be living anywhere else. We certainly felt, many people have expressed that when our father left for over in North Sydney, but it seemed to be so far away, at that time because of the transportation. But that changed through the years, and they became perfectly happy up here. But they were in their culture, though. There's Gaelic and
Yeah.
fiddling in this area.
Well, I think maybe it was the language of our mother and father. They spoke it and we heard it, but we weren't understanding it and hear. Oh, that's what they were saying. That's what they're. As we get more acquainted with it ourselves, we pick up a little bit more, Gee.
And I never lost my understanding of it.
Yeah.
But there's no way, if you sit there and listen, even though you haven't got a clue, maybe you might hear 3 words that you know. He has many more now than that. And he'll even makes an effort to reply with my Gaelic, and my Gaelic is much better than it was, I can assure you. Have to tell that to your father. I'm going to get after him.
Oh, I think we're in the right direction.
And you're making the effort. I think the effort that people are making now, they may not know what the end result will be, but they're never going to regret making the effort. Even when we're caught up with the Gaelic, we're doing what we could. and we have a commitment to learn a Gaelic song. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes.
We don't know any Gaelic songs. Isn't that awful?
Yeah.
Finley never taught you any?
No.
We learned choruses, but even that was only 2 or 3, you know. But then we were very young when it would be just after we came to Boisdale, and but
that's great that you're gonna and you're gonna sing it at Celtic Colours this year, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
No, wait a minute. No, Gaelic is a very difficult language to learn.
Yeah.
I think the Cape Breton Fiddlers are pretty wonderful. They don't want, if they come and get to the practices, which a good many of the strong people do come, because you, in order to know the order of tunes, you'd have to come. And they seem to move through the day very carefully, and they perform very nicely, I think. I think, maintenant, that it fills us up. We have got to be filled up with those beautiful things, and it doesn't have to be that you're full of music from Inverness County or whatever. I think you have to be filled up with this background that was in your life, and then learn to, as you go along, I think learn to see the huge beauty that's in other music and in other cultures. And of course we're stirred by the Celtic stuff because that's what we know best, and it does fill us up. I think that that needs to be done, and Gaelic is helping us right now, because we now realize that we've always realized that the music that's played around is very classy. It's and we're discovering that about Gaelic, that it's, I mean, we're only on the surface. We're probably in pre-kindergarten yet, you know, but we are seeing the formation of the words and the beautiful expressions, and that happens in all cultures. There's no 2 ways about it. I don't think I don't want them squelched, any one of them.
Oh, even hearing all that Gaelic singing yesterday afternoon, and to realize how people compose the song, but compose the right kind of music to go with it. You know?
Yeah.
The words and the music almost tell the same story.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we felt.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of a mystery, you know. Oh.
I think it's important for them to know. Myself, I think it's important for the people who come into our area. I think that they would be disappointed if they didn't hear some fiddle music on, and if it's truly presented, whatever it truly is, because all of that changes, but because it is so beautiful. The music is so beautiful that it shouldn't be lost, even if only a small percentage of the people who come into the area hear the music. It's particularly music from Cape Breton. It's I feel very strongly about that. Not going to get any crosser.
No, that's good.
So, always when we're together with all of our family present and any other people who are accepting of how we are, and I think that's gives us lots of happiness, that when we're comfortable with them and they enjoy letting, well, for instance, Francis play the fiddle, and people are sitting around chatting. That's something that we did a lot of when we were younger, you know. I think we should all be proud of whatever culture, and I think that myself, that I am proud of this culture, but I also want everybody to be proud of their culture too. Because it has given us such life, and it has made us alert and respectful of it, but I still want that to be done by other cultures, and they are doing it, you know. We probably were a little slower realizing, and maybe it's just getting older, as Isabel says to me. Don't be saying old, say you're getting older. How about that?
No, that sounds good. My name is Father Francis Cameron.
And my name is Janet Cameron. We are children of Iwa, Dalmode, Finley, Big Dan, and Sarah Dal Iwa, which is Sarah Dal Finley Beaton, both out of Mabou.